My name's Justin, I'm 32, and I own my own business. Today, I'm out with my wife, Lily, visiting an open house for a newly built condo complex. Wow, a brand new condo complex. I heard there are 3 different model units, each with its own concept, I said, feeling curious. It's exciting, isn't it? Lily agreed. Definitely. The person I spoke to when I booked the visit was so nice. It made me look forward to this even more, I replied. With high expectations, we headed to the open house. The area had recently been revitalized and was becoming very popular, so a lot of people were there to check it out. When we arrived, I approached a sales representative standing by the entrance. "Excuse me, we have an appointment for the open house," I said. The sales rep turned around with a smile, but his expression quickly changed when he saw us. He frowned and stared at us rudely. "Please, go this way," he said with a heavy sigh, gesturing toward the entrance. Lily and I were confused by his strange behavior. We weren't dressed inappropriately or anything. Still, we decided to move on since the presentation was about to start. Once inside, we started looking at the model units. "Oh, this room is so cute," Lily said, admiring one of the spaces. "I like the classy one we saw earlier, but I love bright colors. Maybe this one's more my style." We quickly forgot about the rude salesman as we focused on evaluating the rooms. "The large windows make the space feel open, and the view is pretty nice too," I said. "Plus, this layout has plenty of storage. It'd be great even if we had a lot of stuff." After touring all the units, we settled down at one of the provided tables to go through the brochures and discuss our thoughts. Just then, the same sales rep from earlier began serving refreshments to everyone. "Thank you for visiting today. If you have any questions, let me know. My name is Brown," he said, smiling and chatting politely with each group. But when he got to our table, he paused, smirked, and walked away without giving us any drinks or the extra info we'd requested. Lily and I just stared at each other, shocked. "Hey, that guy," Lily whispered, frowning. "You mean the one who was rude to us at the entrance?" I asked. "Yeah, that's him," she replied. Our excitement for the open house was completely gone. Lily looked disappointed as we prepared to leave. "I thought this place had potential," she said quietly. And with that, we left, our mood soured by the experience. We overheard Brown's voice, and it sounded like he thought he was alone. "Man, that clueless couple today was a real pain. They're so out of touch with their own status. It's just sad," he muttered. "No kidding," another voice replied. Brown shook his head. "I saw them from a distance. They parked in the coin-operated lot and rode up in a tiny compact car. I never thought they were here for the tour. They looked so plain and broke. They should know their place." Lily and I exchanged glances. It seemed like Brown was talking about us. We had arrived in our compact car, and compared to some of the people we seen at the viewing, we probably looked modest. "Why should I waste my time on folks like that?" Brown continued. "I just ignored them. They were dumbfounded. Haha." Just then, a junior colleague, who seemed to be trying to speak up, said, Mr. Brown, isn't that not quite right? From now on, let me handle the refreshments and materials." The one arguing with Mr. Brown was a younger colleague, apparently named Johnson. "Shut up, Johnson. Don't be presumptuous. As a newbie, I'm the one who'll be managing the contracts. Don't even think about undermining me for the incentive," Mr. Brown snapped. Johnson looked distressed and quickly shut up. It became clear that Johnson was the one doing all the preparations while Mr. Brown was picking and choosing the parts of customer service he wanted to handle. This just ruined our mood even more. On the way home, Lily sighed. "Since we remember all this, let's pass on this apartment today. It's a shame because the show unit was really nice, but it just doesn't feel right." "I agree," I said. "If we go ahead with this, we'll likely have to deal with Mr. Brown again, and after what happened today, I can't see where this is going." We decided to look at other properties. 2 weeks later, Lily said, "Justin, What do you think about this property? As she pointed at the screen. It's a bit over budget, but I'd like to go see it, she added. Only a few units left. Huh, I teased Lily. You always fall for those marketing lines. You're always buying things labeled limited edition, even sweets. Lily laughed and said, don't compare it to sweets. As we quickly clicked to book a viewing, however, the day of the viewing brought back unpleasant memories. When we arrived and tried to get the documents, I heard a familiar voice. You've got to be kidding me. I looked toward the sound, and there was Mr. Brown, the salesman who had talked badly about us during our last visit. We didn't expect to see him again so soon. To make matters worse, the person handing us the documents was Johnson, the junior colleague we'd seen before. I instinctively pulled my hand back from taking the documents, but Johnson, not recognizing us, looked confused. Then, Mr. Brown spoke up. Excuse me, what is your profession? His rude question annoyed me, but I decided to wait and see how he reacted. I'm self-employed, I replied. When Mr. Brown heard my answer, he didn't hide his mocking look. This place is out of your league. There's no way you can't afford to see the last unit on the top floor. Got it? He seemed ready to send us away, but I wasn't about to let it go. Wait, what? I said, frustrated. Mr. Brown smirked. Don't get it. It means no poor folks allowed. Understand? Before I could respond, Johnson quickly stepped in. Sir, please stop. I'm really sorry. Here are the documents. Mr. Brown ignored him and took the documents from Johnson. Are you saying we should choose our customers? Lily asked, upset. Mr. Brown didn't care at all. Yep, this is a luxury building for high society. We don't allow people like you in. We decline entrance to the poor. It was clear he wanted us to leave, but I wasn't going to stay silent. I highly doubt you've been given the responsibility to screen potential buyers. Could you please call your superior? I asked. Mr. Brown shrugged. I can't do anything about what you're saying. Like I said, this property is for the upper class. It's not something people like you can't afford. Mr. Brown's statement shocked us. That's rude to the customers. Mr. Brown, I said. Please stop. Johnson, looking flustered, tried to step in. I'm very sorry, he said, but I cut him off. So, as a couple, we're being denied the viewing, right? Mr. Brown smirked and replied arrogantly. Exactly. He waved us toward the exit. I wouldn't even do it as a favor. Lily, who had been silent until then, finally lost her temper. We left the venue, feeling angry and upset. Wait, please. We had walked a little distance when Johnson ran after us. I'm truly sorry, he said, out of breath. I know my apology might not fix anything, but I'm really, really sorry for how rude Mr. Brown was. I don't know how to make it up to you. Johnson seemed sincere, but I just shook my head. You should go back, I said. I'm sorry for making you chase after us. I see you're a sincere person, I added. Thanks for your concern, but we'll be heading home now. You should go back before Mr. Brown gets mad. Don't worry about us anymore. But Johnson bowed deeply again, looking distressed. Listen, Johnson, I said, we're not really mad. It's okay. We're angry at Mr. Brown, and after this bad experience, we probably wouldn't even want to buy the place, even if we saw it. So, we're going home, but we haven't given up on finding a property. Lily smiled and added, I don't want to see Mr. Brown again, and I definitely don't want to buy from someone like him. But if we get another chance, I'd like you to be in charge. Can you do that? Yes, of course, Johnson said eagerly. I'll make sure to show you our best properties. We smiled and watched Johnson bow politely. He gave us his business card again, and we promised to call him when we were ready to see other properties. As we were exchanging our contact details, we suddenly heard Mr. Brown's angry footsteps. Johnson, where did you put the contract documents? Geez, you're never around when I need you. What are you doing? Don't embarrass me. Mr. Brown noticed us and, with an exasperated look, nudged Johnson. Stop wasting your time with these poor folks. There's no gain in it. Not even a cent, should I say. A penny. Now hurry up and get those documents, Mr. Brown said, grabbing Johnson by the scruff of his neck. Hey, quit the rough stuff, I shouted, my voice firm. Mr. Brown just snorted, laughing. Are you still here, poor man? Is that you? Don't like being told you're poor, pretending to be free. Go home early and work hard, he sneered, waving us off and dragging Johnson away. Lily clenched her fists in frustration. I'm about to reach my boiling point, she said, and I wholeheartedly agreed. About an hour later, as we were driving home in our compact car, my phone rang. I asked Lily to answer it. The voice that came through the speaker was pleading and almost unrecognizable. It was Mr. Brown, but he sounded completely different. Sorry, can you come back right away? He stammered. Lily, clearly unimpressed, asked, what can we help you with? He hurriedly replied, there's something I want to tell you. We don't want to go back. You can't tell us over the phone, Lily responded coldly. Are you sounding so haughty? You mean nothing, he stammered, sounding increasingly uncomfortable. Lily's voice was sharp as she brushed him off. Can you please calm down? For a moment, there was a hint of anger in his voice, but it quickly shifted back to a flattering tone. Lily wasn't having it. You remember how you said we wouldn't gain even a penny by dealing with you? Well, this call is a waste. Goodbye. But wait, he pleaded, but Lily hung up before he could finish. When the phone rang again, she turned it off, deciding it wasn't worth the hassle. By the way, how much is a penny worth right now? Lily asked seriously. I couldn't help but laugh. I think it's about 0.3 cents in Colombian pesos. 0.3 cents. You know, if it's Indonesian rupiah, it's about 0.0009 cents. Lily then started imitating Mr. Brown's tone, saying, not even a penny to gain by dealing with the likes of Yusa, or rather, not even a ruble. Hey, do I sound like him? Who's smarter? Both are kind of so-so, I teased. We continued chatting, enjoying a quick lunch before heading home. As we turned a corner, we spotted a figure standing in front of a certain garage. Hey Justin, sorry for the trouble of coming back with your car, Robert said. That's fine, but you brought them both here. We had no idea this was going to happen, and now we're having a meal. Sorry, did we keep you waiting too long? No, not at all. I'm the one who should be apologizing, I replied. Hey, don't just stand there like a lump, Robert continued, noticing the tense atmosphere. The one who was shaken in fear was Mr. Brown, the one who had called us poor earlier. Next to him, Johnson looked confused. Feeling sorry for Johnson, I decided to clear things up. Johnson, relax, it's okay. Robert here is the vice president of his company, and we're old college buddies. Both Johnson and Mr. Brown stared at us in surprise. Actually, Justin and I were attending the open house at Robert's request, I explained. We were really just looking for a property, but we didn't expect things to turn out like this. Johnson seemed flustered, and Mr. Brown looked at us as if he didn't understand what we meant. We had asked Justin to dress casually for the viewing, I continued. We arranged for him to use the small car we had prepared. I pointed towards the car parked in front of our garage. But, look over there, that's Justin's real car. He's a well-known young investor around town. Mr. Brown seemed taken aback. You can't tell just by looking at that car that you couldn't afford it even if you stood on your head, right? Brown's face turned pale, and he apologized. Yes, I apologize. It was clear that Brown was trembling, probably after being severely reprimanded. A few months ago, we started receiving complaints at the corporate office, Robert said. People were saying they felt looked down upon by salespeople during casual viewings. Everyone was saying the same thing. So I visited the site multiple times, but you acted polite in front of me. However, the features match you, no matter how I think about it. I asked Justin to confirm once I left the site, Robert said, and this is the result. Mr. Vice President, could there be some kind of mistake? Brown asked nervously. Don't screw around, Robert replied coldly. We have the recorded conversation. Do you want me to play it back? Brown stammered. I apologize. He tried to make excuses, but it was clear that wouldn't work. He shrank under Robert's harsh words. You're apologizing to the wrong person, Robert continued, his voice low and firm. If saying sorry were enough, we wouldn't need the police involved. This isn't over. You take full responsibility. Brown looked like he was about to break down, his face pale as he heard Robert's threat about damages. I'm really sorry. It was all my fault, Brown mumbled, approaching me and Lily as if begging for mercy. Before I could respond, Robert grabbed Brown by the scruff of his neck. Don't joke around, he said sternly. You judge people based on appearance and label them as poor. You made a huge mistake thinking that wealthy people flaunt their money. Brown looked even more defeated, shrinking under Robert's glare. Do you know how many cancellations we've had from high-profile clients because of your reckless behavior? Robert continued. You ruined our company's reputation with your sales tactics. Do you understand why I'm angry? Brown, trembling, begged, please forgive me. Robert shook his head. No chance. Suddenly, Brown's eyes rolled back, and he collapsed to the ground. It had been a while since I'd seen Robert lose his temper like this. It reminded me of our college days when Robert had stood up for me when I was bullied. He'd fought upperclassmen to protect me, even taking a beating in the process. Once again, Robert was protecting me, this time from Brown's disrespectful actions toward Lily and me. I owed him big time. Next time, I treat him to his favorite steak. A few days later, Robert invited us to another property viewing. Johnson, of course, was now in charge until a formal decision was made. Brown had received a pay cut and was stuck doing menial office work. It seemed only natural that he was getting a hard time from everyone, given how poorly he had treated them before. Yeah, I'll clean the table right away, I heard Brown mutter, his voice sounding completely different from before. I'll get the documents. I'm sorry, I'll get them. It was clear how much his situation had changed. Later, Brown was sentenced to pay damages and was struggling to make repayments, now without his former title or responsibilities. Meanwhile, thanks to Mr. Johnson, we were able to acquire our ideal home. Even better, thanks to Robert's help, we got it at a slightly discounted price. Johnson also seemed to be doing well, showing great improvement in his work and receiving better treatment. As I thought about it all, I realized how important honesty is in life.